Hello there everybody, and welcome to this feature presentation on YouTube. I am King Mac, your hamburger pal. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to enjoy a hot fresh cheeseburger along with some delicious golden french fries, a tasty milkshake, and a nice soft drink. Also be sure to grab some hot buttery popcorn while you're at it as you enjoy this episode of TTBurger Game Reviews on YouTube.
Attention people! Hut Eddies! Welcome back! You're watching more TTBurger Game Reviews here on YouTube. General Tony here at your service once again. We are back with episode 258 of my TTBurger Game Reviews. We continue with the Army Men franchise review. Episode 258, part 8 of 11 parts. Once again by the company 3DO. And we're going to be taking a look at more Army Men console games here. This time we're going to take a look at an Army Men game on the PlayStation 2. Before I get started, I want to give a shout out to Freaking HD, Sub-Zero, MX, King Mac, Set Hyperlamia, Frickles Twinkle Stateside, Griffin Puff, Megs, Black Healer, Homie RJ, Uncle Jiro, Rockstar Pool 69, the Sensational Gent, Red Hood Assassin, Jessica Cody 22, and more. Also gonna shout out to my buddy JJ Jaguar 89, who recently became a father about a month ago. So congrats to him and his wife. Now we got a lot to talk about here. Take a look at the spin-off / sequel of Army Men Southern Heroes here and stuff. Starring Vikki Grimm, the daughter of Colonel Happy Jack Grimm and Sergeant Hawk's boyfriend. Before we can get to that, don't you just have episode 258 part 7 of 11. Get 7 of 11 I did there. A TTBurger recap straight on what you missed. I took a look at Army Men 2 the PlayStation 2 version, gave it an 8.5 out of 10. It was a fantastic game. It was cool that you had to play as Vikki in certain levels and stuff. But it took out some of the things from Army Men 1, like the ability to drive tanks and use minesweepers and stuff and more. It was just a flat third-person shooter, but still a fun game overall. PlayStation 2 version the best. Nintendo 64 version game where color versions are awful. Still with the PlayStation 2 version the best. Now we're going to zoom ahead to September 10th, 2001, the PlayStation 2 exclusive spin-off here to Army Men with Army Men Heroes here. It's kind of a sequel to Army Men 2. Got it right here, starring Vikki Grimm. This is Portal Runner, once again done by 3DO. The PlayStation 2 exclusive released on September 10th, 2001. Portal Runner! As a spin-off game, an Army Men game, I actually liked this game. It was a fun 3D platformer spin-off of stuff where we played Vikki Grimm, where we traveled through time with her partner Leonardo, aka Leo the Lion, as her counterpart using her bow and arrow to defeat enemies while collecting gems and more to get to the end of the level. This game was surprisingly fun. Sure, it does not play like any other Army Men game, but still this is a game about Vikki Grimm, not Sergeant Hawk, and even though he and Colonel Grimm make an appearance and stuff along with Bridget Blue from Army Men 2, and General Plaza appears at the end as well. Vikki Grimm uses her bow and arrow as a weapon by side with Leo the Lion too. Portal Run has shortcomings that do effectively being a perfect game, but it's clearly the game that should be added to your Army Men collection as a spin-off and the part of the Army Men series and more. Let's continue. Story takes place after Army Men 2. After Sergeant Hawk foiled General Placero's plan to take over world domination along with the Tan Army, General Placero was captured and put behind bars. Meanwhile, Bridget Blue, the blue spy for Army Men Heroes 2, is feeling lonesome, has a plan to search for a king, looking for magnificent searches and use their magic mirror, and shows her Sergeant Hawk and comes up with a plan to marry Sergeant Hawk and give her Vikki Grimm like a piece of trash. Meanwhile, Vikki is grounded by her father. Sergeant Hawk caught her following him on a mission and could have ended up killed. This leads her to get into a fight with her father and getting pissed off at Sergeant Hawk. While avoiding the boat, a green armed soldier gives Vikki a package containing a dinosaur and a note says, "The story of your career awaits you. Follow the map and seek out the one called Rage. Tell no one. Leave now." And does that without telling anyone. Then Sergeant Hawk shows up and tells her father's right. She's too adventurous, and which gets her mad at Sergeant Hawk. She takes off with her camera and goes to the Lost State, where she's ambushed by Rage, whose robot psychic kick, and sends her into a portal to the prehistoric times with the dinosaurs and more. At the same time, a lion that was guarding the portal goes in after her, and they team up, and she gives him the name Leonardo, Leo for short. Vikki must find her way back home before she gets in trouble again, not knowing that Bridget Blue has plans for her and Sergeant Hawk as well. And she definitely does there too. You do not just go to the prehistoric era, you go to the medieval era, a space era, which are all cool, and going into the plastic world as well, which Vikki's new up at each time. And the story's pretty good, better than I thought. I do not really have a problem with it, except for those who were big in the Army franchise. Stories may be a little turn off by this, since there are barely any toy soldiers here except for Sergeant Hawk, Colonel Grimm and such. But hey, the story's excellent, indeed. And as General Tony here myself, I enjoyed it a lot. Also, the fact that you have a new character aside from Leo in this game named Merlin, who's a wizard too, is pretty cool. Presentation of Portal Runner, excellent graphics, probably the best looking game in the Army Men franchise. The character models look amazing detail for a PlayStation 2 game, especially the Vikki Grimm, and with her model, character model Leo Lion stuff. The environments and the foliage environments have a lot of detail to them too. Cutscenes look excellent, look better than they did in Army Men Extravaganza 2. I mean, take a look at how Vikki looks in this game compared to Extravaganza 2. She looks a little more detailed here than she did in the other game. But that's not bad at all. Army Men Extravaganza 2 was a good game and stuff as well, good game as well. But back on topic here. The bow and arrow Vikki uses looks detailed as well. The explosion effects on the arrows are cool with a very smooth frame rate. Kick-ass sound in Portal Runner in a different way. The voice setting is top-notch, mainly because Jim Cummings and Susan Blue do all the voice for her again. Sure, Jim Cummings does not have a lot of voiceover care because Sarge and Colonel Grimm are not in the game as much as he was in Army Men Extravaganza 2, so that he voices Rage Robert, which is pretty cool. But Susan Blue is the bright spot of the voice setting, and Vikki Grimm, Bridget Blue, so the voices the main protagonist and the main antagonist. The music is big in variety depending on what era you are. Like in the previous story, you hear Jurassic Park music. Medieval era, you hear stuff like from the movies with knights and everything, with wizards and stuff. In the space era, it needs no explanation. My favorite song is the menu theme with a licensed track called Always by the female rock band called Half Cock, and it's a short kick-ass song for sure, but you can find it on YouTube, and I'm not going to play it. Different sound effects such as Leo's roar and the sound of the bow and arrow and the grunts of the enemies are also well done here. Gameplay. Fun, and more fun here. What we have here is a 3D platform with a third-person shooter elements in it. Like I mentioned earlier, we play as Vikki Grimm as she travels through the world to different areas to stop Bridget Blue, and for her plans to get start talk to Hawk to stop marrying Bridget Blue, and from stopping world domination. As Vikki, our goal is simple. We should end the level while also collecting and killing the variety of enemies with our bow and arrow. The gems are very handy because they're not just getting destroyed, they give Vikki more health if you can get a start up and they come in handy. And here's an interesting fact about the gems in the tutorial. They'll show you how to collect them, and each different gem sounds different, and you can hear the tune. Remember, had a little lamb. Pretty cool if you ask me. You have a variety of arrows, like direct arrows, you have explosive arrows, fire arrows, lightning arrows, water arrows, pierce arrows, and more, which are very fun to use. Pretty cool for sure indeed, fucking amazing. Also, there are different types of gameplay, not just use Vikki. You can ride on Leo's line, solve puzzles, and find keys on a time limit. You can play as Leo himself later in the game. And the puzzles are challenging, will require you think on your feet, sure, especially for the first time. There are 20 levels when you beat the game, you can play it again on another difficulty, but now the negatives though. The controls are smooth, but there is a stiffness delay when jumping. There are areas where Vikki rides on Leo, and they're the worst part of the game, mainly because of the jumping mechanics are like a second delayed or something like that. Some of the areas you get are weak and do not help much, and a short game is only 3 or 4 or 5 hours long, so it's easy to get lost in the game. There's only problems have it though. Final thoughts: if you enjoyed Army Men Extravaganza 2 and wanted the game with Vikki and the Army Men franchise stuff, Portal Runner should not disappoint at all. I give it an 8 out of 10 because of the problems I have with it, but it's a game that should not be overlooked if you want some Army action with Vikki Grimm this time, and Leo the Lion and Bridget Blue. And that's for episode 258, part 8 of 11. Stay tuned, we're going to go back into the PlayStation and you can take a look at Army Men Air Attack, a helicopter combat game similar to Soviet Nuclear Strike. How did this game fare? We have a helicopter game this time, so we'll have to find out next, which all I can say is Tony, peace out, have a good day. I salute you all, God bless you, have a good day.